Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob from Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today I have a little interesting tuning that I wanted to do on this knife. It came in, seems a little stiff, so I wanted to try a little bit of oil and maybe consider tuning to detent and seeing if maybe these are cage ceramic ball bearings that we can swap out. So let's go ahead and take a look. This is a great little knife, it's called a Hive. It's part of Tuyaknives, that's Dave Warren's company over there. I do like this. I believe that guy is the same guy, Bade Modern Designs. He was the one that designed the Bade Modern Design Stunner, and I have that one. That's a great knife, by the way. Love that one. It's the best, smoothest action on any knife that I have. So this one being so stiff, can't even drop shut, it's kind of surprising. So I wanted to kind of see if we could fix that a little bit, right? So the first thing you can always do is you can do a little bit of oil right away. So if you're not familiar with that, maybe consider a little bit of oil. So what I do is, if you can see this, I usually put a little bit of oil right in here where the cage ceramic washer is. So we put a little oil in there, kind of get that going in, and then we'll get some of this heavy KPL nano oil or KPL oil. So nano has a 85 weight heavy oil. And then they have a 15, and these guys have, a 10. This is a 15 for the original for these guys. So what I do with that is I look for where the detent ball is. So I don't know if you can see that right there. There's a detent ball right in here, right here. So I'm going to put a little drop right on top of that. All right, so I got a little drop there. I don't know if you can see that. Right there. So we're going to work that in, kind of move that back and forth. So it's a little gritty right now, so let's see if that changes anything. Does that cause it to move a little bit better? Well, it does start to drop a little bit. Not much. So, some more oil might be helpful. I'll put some a little bit on the back. Just a little drop here, a little drop there. See if that works in a little bit. I'm of the opinion too much oil is better than no oil, especially when you're dealing with steel, because oil is a good rust preventative. So that's always nice. Yeah, still pretty tight. So let's go ahead and take this apart. I think, see if these are T8s or T6s. We'll try the T8s first. See what size they are. So this is the T8, as you can see. So let's see. Okay, T8 there. T8 there. T8 there. All right, so that's what we're going to use. And I brought the second screwdriver in case it wasn't a captive pivot, and you have to use 2 screws to loosen this up. So let's start off. Well, I don't think I have to worry about that because that doesn't look like, you can see in there. Oh, this, by the way, is 0.74 of 145. So it's 145, I guess, of these made. Very cool. So I think we just have to worry about this and this. Okay, so let's do that. Oh, that popped right off. Quite a bit of pressure there from the... So there's a washer, and here's the other washer. See, now, typically, in a blade, when this is in, I tend to keep the exposed part in toward the blade. So we'll take a look at that. So let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit. So M390. That hollow grind, I don't know if you can see that really well, but that hollow grind is crazy. It's really nice. That sure seems to be in there pretty good. Oh, no, it does come out. All right, very good. Cool. Oh, looks like it might actually be captive up here too. Yeah, so you see that? It's a little flat right there. Now this is what I saw. This was really, really tight. So this doesn't seem really far in, if you can see that, but it is pretty good. Now in order to bend that back, because there's an over travel stop right there, you see that over travel stop? This is where the detent ball is. I can't bend it further back because it's going to continuously hit that. So in order to do that, we'd have to release this right here. And I don't know if this is a T. This is okay. Yep, that's a T8. All right, so I'm going to take this off. All right, so that came off. Typically, this should come out pretty easily. If it doesn't, I have some tricks to kind of get these out. All right, so it's not coming out. So sometimes I'll speed up the video if you haven't already seen that, just to kind of move this along. I don't want you to have to wait. But what I'll do is I'll screw in from the back side here just a little bit. And then I'll use that screw to kind of wiggle that out. See if I can get that free. All right, I'm going to have to get my Leatherman tool real quick, so I'll be right back. All right, so before I grab any screw like that, I will definitely want to pad that. I don't like to scratch it. So we're going to kind of get around that screw just a little bit and see if we can get this. All right, so I fast forward to that if I share this video, if I decide to share this video, because that was quite the effort. It was a lot harder than I expected. So now I'm going to see if I have any skiff bearings that I can fit in there. I don't think I do, but we'll give it a try. Oh, maybe these guys. Let's see. Maybe. This might be a little too big. Maybe not. We'll give them a try. Put a little Loctite 242, helps locks up the screws so they don't slip out. Alright, so I fast forwarded through a lot of this stuff. What I did is I had some issues getting the lock bar, well, the travel stop and what you call the steel insert for the frame lock out of the actual bar right here, the frame, the part that goes and holds the blade in place, keep it nice and secure, right? So it was not coming out even after I unscrewed this. It was really, really stuck because it was a little too tight. So once I got that out, I had to use a little heat on here, which is something last resort kind of thing. But I really felt like this knife has some potential, so I said, yeah, let's go for it. So I heated this up just enough so that would expand this a little bit, and then I could pull the steel insert out. And I was able to do so, finally. That took a bit of work, and then I kind of chamfered off the edges on that insert so it would go in and out. I'm not saying it'd be loose, but it would go in and out without feeling like you were going to have to break it to get it out. It was really, really stuck in there. It was so stuck in there, I don't even know if you needed a screw to hold it in there. That's how tight it was. And the only way I got it out is I took the screw and went on the other side, used that to pull it out. So once I got that out, then I adjusted the frame lock here. So I took away a little bit of that strong detent to make it a little more reasonable. And once I did that, you can see it actually drops now. Now I think after time it'll actually break in a little bit better. And the grittiness of this running over, the detent ball running over the blade, is starting to go away. So that's nice. And I think that's going to come from just the washers making a groove in there as it moved around. Now these were the original washers, and I replaced them with these Skiff Rocket Glide rings. These are the 1/4 inch pivot. The inner diameter is 0.252 inches. The outer diameter is 0.420 inches. It's a 1/16 of an inch ball. There's 13 count in this one. And the thickness is 0.05 inches. So this worked out way better. So I'm happy with this. This is definitely a little more along the line of where we want it to be. So as you can see, it's starting to break in a bit, and that's really nice. Still, my biggest disappointment was when I opened this knife, it had, where is it? Yeah, it had that scratch right there. And I showed that in my knife unboxing. That's really disappointing. I really wish that wasn't the case. I think that's a QC thing. Before, if I do this, it would go like this, even with a hard flick. But when I do that now, I close it. So if I do this like this, oops, I gotta make sure you clear the detent ball. It closes right away, so that's nice. Now what I wanted to be able to do is get in here. Yeah, I can do it. So before, the detent was so strong that I couldn't. So since this is a hollow grind, right, you can get your finger in here on this part. So I can get my finger right in here, if you can see that. I can get my little fat of my finger right there, and because there's enough of a curve, when I get here and I put my hand on the deep carry pocket clip, I can reverse flick it, which gives me a second option of opening this knife than just the flipper. I can, oops, I gotta get on there. Oops, of course I'm on camera. You can reverse flick it, and I can do it this way, but this hand hurts a little bit, so I'll show you what it does over there. So it works nicely, but this hurts right now because it needs to heal. But say it's real easy to flick this way. I do this with my Ray Laconico knives. They have a very tall flat grind all the way to the very edge, and so a hollow grind or a really tall flat grind allows you to do that. I call it the middle finger flick. Get this middle finger in here, get it where the hollow grind is, and just reverse flick, and it's really nice. And I tell you, I think this detent, some people are going to like the strong detent. And if you like strong detent, you're going to love this right out of the box, right? I don't. So I tuned this to a little lighter detent. I still have no problem deploying it. If I get up here and I just do the light switch, it works just fine. If I do the push button, it works fine. No problem getting that button out there. I mean, look at that. Just strong, powerful flick. But then I can also do my reverse flick with my middle finger, get under here and open it. I really like that. And I can do that on here as well. So I just got to make sure I have a good grip. This is a little weak, but here we go. Get on here. No problem. Now it's starting to drop. But still got to break it in. The skiff bearings definitely help. Definitely. This is where I think skiffs are definitely worth it. So I was able to do that. Very nice. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching today. I appreciate you checking out my knife channel and checking out this video. This was sort of a little educational one. Definitely did some fast forwarding, but I hope you enjoyed it. This may not be for you, but at least you can see that some things can be fixed and tuned, and it makes the knife, I think, so much better. So some knives are not hopeless, right? You can salvage them and reuse them, and then they work really nice. So that's definitely something worth maybe your time. And if you ever get that to the point where you feel comfortable enough, you could do that. So just notice, you know, gotta have the right tools. I do recommend like these WIA and these WIA bits because they're good quality tools. You won't strip out the screws. You got to make sure you're flat. When you're doing this, don't be in a rush. Don't let it pull up. Make sure you're all the way seated into the actual torque screw. You know, you don't want to do this when it's up high, so you want to make sure it fits in there. So when I did these screws, I want to make sure I'm in all the way. You see, not all the way up here to the top. I just start turning before even I'm into the hole. That's really important, my recommendation. Then you also will need, obviously, some heavy oil for your detent ball and some light oil for your washers. I recommend that. Some people think it should be all dry. I think Jim Skelton believes in completely dry, no need for it, which I respect. That is definitely his call, but I like oils in mine. And then you also probably want to get some Loctite 242. This is a really great material right here. This get into the screw and it'll hold in place so it won't start to slip. It's not so tight that you can't unscrew it, because there's also, I think there's another Loctite 272 or something, I think it is. That one, you have to use a heat gun to heat it up before it breaks free, right? Sort of what I had to do here with the little over travel stop and the steel insert, which is one and the same. So now it's kind of breaking in, really nice. You can start enjoying this knife, I think, a whole lot more for me, because I like the fidget factor now. So much better. I really like this now. All right, if you found this interesting, fun, entertaining, or just something cool to listen to, I appreciate it for watching today. And if you would mind, consider subscribing down below, and then maybe hitting the like button as well down below. I very much would appreciate that as well. And if you like this content, maybe check me out over on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. That's robs_nerdy_knives. I sure would appreciate it. And thanks so much for watching today. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.